Hello everyone, my name is Kleinicus, and welcome to my Let's Play of City Skylines. I imagine you're all wondering what sort of happened to me over the last couple of months and why I wasn't uploading. Unfortunately, I had some rather significant tech issues with my laptop and recording, and so I was unable to get anything up and recorded, in fact, like for those 6 weeks or so, 8 weeks. It seems everything has been sorted out now, so we should be good to go back to a regular upload schedule, fingers crossed. But the one unfortunate side effect is that I did lose all of the save files that I had built up for my couple of Let's Plays that were going on. So I guess we're starting fresh across the board, which might not necessarily be a bad thing, because our previous city was definitely getting bombarded by multiple tornadoes on a consistent basis. So we're definitely going to do another scenario, just because that gives us a good defined ending and sort of a way to progress throughout the game. So I was taking a look at some of them, and I think we're actually going to do the island hopping one instead of Tornado Country. The island hopping one, while it still pulls from some of the mechanics of Tornado Country with all of the disasters going on, has a little bit more of a challenge to it because of the space restrictions. As you can see there's a bunch of just little islands in an archipelago formation, and so that's going to give us a little bit more of a challenge when we're considering how to build the city and to avoid all of the disasters. So we're going to try that. Since we're definitely going to have a lot of water-based events, we're going to call ourselves Tsunami Cove. It's rather fitting. And so in this scenario, we need to win by having more than 250,000 population, as well as an average health of over 20%, which, I mean, does sound pretty low, meaning that really means that 1 in 5 citizens are healthy. But I imagine because of pollution and tsunamis constantly hitting us, we're probably going to have a challenge with that particular condition. We're going to lose if we ever run out of money, or within the first 15 weeks we have less than 1 population. After the first 15 weeks we have less than 1 population. So we have to make sure that our population is actually surviving. Also makes sense. Alright, seems everything's good to go, so let's get started. Okay, here we go. So, in all honesty, this is actually the second time I'm recording this scenario. The first time I was recording it, I actually lost the scenario within the first 8 minutes of recording it. I may have forgotten that money was a condition to losing, and so we're not going to make that mistake this time. Alright, story message. Welcome to the archipelago. Connect small islands, build a grand city, and watch out for tsunamis. Sounds pretty straightforward. So let's get started with building. Alright, so we've got 1 road inlet here, so we've only got 1 access point right now. So I guess it's pretty straightforward where we're starting off with. Let's do this here. Alright, so I'm just going to build a road so we can get people in and out, and I'll also make sure that it logically makes sense as one-way traffic. There we go. So we've now got our little inlet to the city. So the first time I actually built out to this first large island here. Unfortunately, bridges actually cost a fair bit in this game, and so we're going to actually try and build a little bit on this first island before anything else, and then try and build from there. So let's get started here. So we'll get a bit of a ring road going here around the outside. This will help to maximize the level of access we have, and we also want to make sure that because we've got some space limitations here, that we're not wasting any of the space that's available to us. That's actually not going to work out too well, so that's alright. You know, it's good enough for now. We'll actually build it from here as a bit of a miniature 4-way intersection. As I'm building out this, the one thing I'm thinking of is, in the previous Let's Play of City Skylines, I'd mentioned that I really like to have my roads in a grid format. Like, I'm all about the organized, parallel, and perpendicular streets and intersections to kind of maximize your space that you're using. But unfortunately, that's probably not the case on this island, so we're just going to have to deal with it and see how that turns out for us. Go, and you know what? This might actually not turn out to be such a bad place to live. Sure, the name's a little ominous, but you know what? That's okay. Here we go. There's our first little set of roads here. Our money's pretty good. 48 grand. Should be okay. Let's, before we get the time moving forward and obviously losing money, let's also get some of our basic power and electrical infrastructure up and running. So in the when I was considering this, there's sort of two main approaches you can take to your power off the bat, which is either the green route with your wind turbines, or the non-renewable route with the coal plant. And so the coal plant costs us 19,000 to build, but gives us, what, 40 megawatts of power, which is pretty good. The wind turbines are 6 grand and gives us 0 to 8 based on wind. So since money is going to be a factor for losing, I think we're going to take the cheaper option for now and just hope that we can build out over time and get enough income to, well, not shoot ourselves in the foot from a power or a water treatment perspective. So it looks like the wind is actually pretty good overall. We can't place these in the water, unfortunately, but we can place these on the islands. So to minimize the amount of space we'll need for power lines, let's put her right there. Enough space to build a second one, hopefully, in a little bit. So just gotta get you there. Alright, there we go. So there's our first little bit of power coming into the island. We'll get the line along here. There we go. We'll get it started to about there, because the idea will be to build out that first grid section there. So that should connect up, hopefully, pretty soon as we're doing that. Let's get all of you in there. Wonderful. So that's good to go there, and we'll actually get you started. There we go. So as the residents move in, we should have no problem from that. Let's also get our water going too. So the one thing that's interesting with this map here is that normally when you see water, there's white arrows that show you the water current direction. That's important because that'll show you the flow of sewage and pollution if it ever hits the water. Of course, when you're planning your water, you don't want to have pollution overlapping with your inflow pipes, because then you're giving your citizens polluted water and that'll kill them. So because there's no flow, that likely means we're going to have pollution pooling by our output pipes. So we're going to make sure that our input and output pipes are on different sides of the island for now, just to avoid any sort of cross-contamination. Now, it's going to kind of suck for some of you people over there. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to... You know what? Here we go. We'll put our input pipe over here by our wind turbine, so it has power. And we'll get our output pipe over here. Ah, there's a road there. Can I squeeze... Oh, there we go. Squeeze you in right there. Wonderful. Let's get a couple of pipes in there as well for everyone. Oh. Pretty finicky. There we go. Alright, so that covers off the first little bit of our island, and I'll just put a little bit more of a pipe around here as well, just to make sure we're all good. There we go. So our citizens should be good from a first island perspective. Hopefully nothing happens while they're building out. Oh, there we go. Everyone is moving in, and it looks like everything's a-okay. Alright, well, we've got this chance. Let's also build out a bit of a commercial area. So if I'm thinking of this as being like a bit of a neighborhood for everyone, let's get a bit of a commercial area starting here, just because that's sort of a little one strip area where you can have some mom and pop shops, a strip mall, corner stores, that sort of good stuff. Oh, and you don't have power there. Let's get you some power out there. That music actually sounds rather ominous. Not sure why that's happening. Hey, nice, we already reached a little hamlet. So we've got taxes and loans that we can now manipulate. The loans is definitely important because that's going to make sure we have enough money. And we can start to get some garbage healthcare education going through the medical clinic, elementary school, and landfill site. Good to hear. Okay, you know what? That music's pretty ominous, so I'm going to change you up real quick. What else do we got? City's radio. Ooh, that's a good little jam there. Oh, there we go. You know, we'll get a little bit of... Sure, you know what? Let's get that there. Why not? We'll have a bit of classical music in the background. That's very fitting for our island. Gonna pause it here real quick to adjust the music settings. here we go. So, city building. So we've got a couple of commercial coming in now, coming in that door. And we're going to have to find somewhere to put our industrial. I'd like to put it somewhere that's away from most of our citizens, just because obviously we don't want pollution and smog overcoming them. But that's going to be rather challenging given the layout here. So I think as a starting area, we're probably going to put it over here for now. It's a little out of the way, so it hopefully won't have too much of an impact right away. And it's also along the main-ish street in, so it hopefully won't impede traffic too much. So you've got power there, you're fine. Power is always difficult in the beginning because you need to have power lines set up basically across the board to connect all of your little miniature groupings of buildings. Oh, so see, like right there, for example, how that blue line came across, that's because the buildings were close enough to make an internal connection versus having it connected through these power lines. But these ones are not established quite enough yet, but it should be hopefully soon when we get... Boom! Everyone here moved in. Let's see how that works out for us. Anyone moving in? Would anyone like to come to Tsunami Bay? Oh, you sure do, whoever you are down here. What are you? What are you? Medium Mug Cafe. Not too bad. We've got a cafe. What else we got? We've got something coming up in here. We've got convenience store, which is called Sally's. We've got we have a drugstore that has a facade of a Pancakes International. I don't know about you, but I love pancakes, so that makes sense for me. I've got a common cold. Pancakes. Flu. Pancakes. My arm's chopped off. Pancakes. Here we go. And we've got a drugstore that actually looks like a drugstore. Maybe they're connected in there. I don't know. It's okay. Don't think too much about it. Got a neighborhood stop and a Big Bite restaurant. Now, to be quite honest, looking at all those more flavor text, there's no real impact to the game as to what commercial buildings are coming in a district. It's just fun to see what we've got coming in. Alright, people are moving in. How come no one is moving in here yet? Oh, because we have a massive need. Okay, so in the bottom here, that massive orange bar tells us we've got a massive need for industry. So all those pollution makers I was talking about before. So I guess we'll have to build out a bit more on that. So let's... Actually, here we go. We can kind of get people on the edge. Can I build in there? Oh, guessing nah, it's too close to our pipes here. Oh, yeah, okay, so see here how the water's turning a brown color and doesn't look too friendly to swim in? That's because of pollution. I mean, this literally is our sewage water just spewing out at us into the water. Later in the game, there are ways to make use... sorry, not make use of that. Don't make use of sewage water. But to clean it, essentially, and reuse it. Purification plants, that's what I'm looking for. So once we get to that point, luckily we'll be able to make better use of that. But until that point, we're kind of out of luck. Alright, you know what? Because we're limited for space, I'll bite the bullet on it for now, but let's get people along here, and here. It's kind of unfortunate that we're going to have to build sort of like this right now, but hopefully once we get enough of income coming in that we can sustain ourselves, we should be able to build out to these other islands, and we can hopefully get sort of an industry island all by itself. That's the goal anyway. Alright, there we go, that's what I was waiting for. People are moving in now, so that should connect our electricity. Yes, it does. So, goodbye power lines. Take up a massive amount of space. So this whole area here was all because of power lines. Now we can have people move in, which is also not a bad thing. Alright, well, things aren't turning up too shabby right now. Actually, I guess the one thing I am going to check very quickly before we continue on. This is actually, to some degree, this may be a bit of cheating. I don't think it necessarily is, but it could be considered that. In all these options here, oh, okay, perfect. So I just wanted to make sure on this actually. So one of the options you have is the frequency of the random disasters. Looks like that option's already turned on and predetermined for us because of the scenario. So good. Just want to make sure we weren't going to have a scenario where maybe I turned it off by accident and hey, no tsunamis, we win very easily. That wouldn't be fun. Alright, so people are moving in. We've got a couple of you starting here for your commercial, and our industrial's not too bad. For now. Actually, what are you? What are... That's not a fish stick factory! In what way is that a fish stick factory? It looks like a grenade!
Welcome to the classics. Classical music for classy people.
No! That's not garments!
It's classicism. Look it up.
I don't know who thought that would be appropriate or correct, but I can assure you I've never seen a garment factory that looks like a grenade. Goods unlimited. No, you know what? They're just putting boxes of goods and fish sticks and garments in those grenade silos. That's fine. It's fine. What are you? Also a fish stick factory. Love it. Ready to wear. Okay. This is how we intimidate the tsunamis. We make them seem like these massive missile silos and grenades are on our island. It won't attack us, won't hit us. Something like that. I'm sure there's logic behind it that way. Well, either way, you guys are all fine there now. Hey, look at all this. Look at all those cars not coming to my island. I'm actually rather disappointed by that because look at that. You've got so many vehicles coming by. You could stop by any time, but no, you're instead going to wherever. We're a worthy village. Come to us. We have tsunamis. All right. Well, we've got a new area unlocked. And we can also do some districts, policies, a second loan, a bunch of other stuff there. We can also specialize. That'll be good, actually. There's a lot of forestry, as you can see from the trees on these islands. So that'll be able to let us get rid of all of those generic fish stick factory silos and the grenades, as I'm calling them, and replace them with actual like lumber and timber type of industrial companies, which will reduce on pollution, but still have sort of the same impact on meeting those needs. That's good though. Okay, nice. We're doing pretty good so far, actually. Our little island is not too bad. And we're actually in the positive right now as well for money. So how are we doing on some services? So we're going to need to deal with garbage. Oof. Alright, actually, you know what? I am going to... We have access to a second area now. So I think I'm going to build... Ooh, do I want to build up? Or... It's just tough because that highway's going to take up a lot of space. You know what? No, it's fine. Let's do it. So we're going to build up here. We're building up, and now we can actually build into the rest of the island. And that's kind of important because a lot of our citizens are based around this island right now. So let's continue with our ring road idea we had. Ah, shoot. I kind of forgot that the highway was there. On the level, the same plane, vertically as the rest of the island. I thought it was actually above us. Okay, so let's try and build a tunnel, perhaps, down? Can I do that? Or can I build up and over, perhaps? I have to, like, way out there and build up and over. Okay. So, you know what? We're going to improvise. We are going to make 2 miniature ring roads around here. So this will be our first enclosed area. Let's get some of this going on here. There we go. So that'll be like our first island area. And then we'll get a second... Ooh, that's going to be tough, actually. Let's see. You know, I guess we're going to get a second ring road area here as well. Alright, let's do it. So, it's going to look really awful for the first little bit, but that's okay. It's nice how there's a little lighthouse there. Oh, jeez. Okay, so... You know, sure. Let's go with that. Why not? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I guess the theory here is that only people who are coming from this direction, I guess heading from the east right now to the north, are able to actually get to this area here. And just to make sure that there's no traffic backlogs one way or the other, let's make sure that this is a one-way road in. There we go, so it's a one-way road in, and it's a one-way road out. There we go, so we're going to have basically coming in and their little offshoot in here. That's not too bad. As we get later on into the game, we can rearrange some of this road work. Alright, let's get you all figured out here. And we're not exactly in an optimal road layout, but you know what? Here we go. We're just going to get a nice middle road cut through. And that, what happened? Did I cut off power by accident? Oh, I did. Crap. Okay, 1 second. I built the road which may have accidentally cut power to the island. Oops. There we go, that should be good. Now let's make sure everyone's okay though before we click off. Alright, it looks like the entire island is back to having power. Maybe a couple more. Excellent. Alright, everyone's back to having power, so we can get rid of these now. Since we're already at the 6 of 8 megawatts being used, we'll build a second one right here. There we go. So we're going to have a total of 16 megawatts that we can use right now, which is not too bad, I think, for the size of our island that we've got. Ooh, yeah, look at that nice little stain there. Little poop stain in the water. It's okay. Anyway, where were we? I guess garbage. So, just taking a look at this briefly. So I think, yeah, so I was trying to think of maybe getting it over on this side of the island here, away from everyone else. The bluish purpley circle we're seeing here represents what can be impacted by the pollution around it. So it's away from everyone, but the only downside, however, is that the trucks... Well, here, so if we put it right there, which we're going to do, the trucks don't actually have access to, this side of the island. You can see here by the green road cover shows sort of the road coverage of our network of garbage or landfills. So obviously there's no direct way to this side of the island. So let's build a tiny little road right there. We obviously observe the highest degree of road safety when we consider our island planning. So we have taken meticulous thought and care into developing this. That's our official statement, of course, as the government of Tsunami Cove. Alright. So we're pretty good here now from a coverage perspective. This island is all covered up. However, there's still one other problem. We've gave this area, or the north side here, access to the south, but there's still not enough south to north access. Easily accessible, because unfortunately, the one area that heads into the north, the only in route, is past the on-ramp that we come from the south side. So we actually have to get another small little tiny road right there. So people can actually turn, come back around, and in the most convoluted way, come down and then head to the north side of the island. There we go. We've now created our full, there we go, a full circular network for our garbage trucks to get around. They're pretty autonomous in the game, so that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so we unlocked a couple more of those services, and we'll get that done real quick actually before we end the episode here, just so we can get everything preliminary running and all that good stuff for future episodes. So garbage is good. Healthcare. So same idea. The north-south side will be kind of difficult from a healthcare perspective, just because of those kind of weird roads we got going on here. Yeah, because if we put something up there, then obviously no south access, and down here no north access. Oh,
experts
crap.
predict an earthquake could hit the area soon.
Alright, so we're pausing right now because we're going to have to resolve that in just a second. In the meantime, though, let's get our health clinic set up, because that all of a sudden has a whole lot more importance now that the earthquake is coming along. So we'll put you there. That's actually a pretty good spot for the most of the island here. Fire, probably also not a bad idea, just because of potential, well, fires now with the earthquake coming. Actually, there we go. We'll put you right next to there, so you've got a little social services area. Oh, can we get the police in there too? No! Alright, other side? Ah, there. The police could have fit in there, and we could have had the trifecta of services in there. Honestly, I'm really tempted to... Oh, alright. You know what? Sure, let's do it. So I've just deleted the road there so we can get the police in there. I guess I'm a bit of a stickler for getting everything in the same area. So our police are going to be there. And now we're going to build the road around the police. Here we go. So now everything's in one area. Might not be an entirely smart decision if we have the earthquake hit right there. All of our services will go down, but we should be okay. Fingers crossed. We don't have enough money yet for a school, but no one's complaining about it yet, so let's just keep it going and hope for the best. Actually, how are we doing? We get maybe a loan for it. Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's get a loan here. We can take a loan. We'll get a smaller loan. Take the $20,000 one. That way we can build the school in there as well. Alright, we're not going to put it right next to all those services. Oh, hey, oh, where is it? Where is it? Alright, so
An earthquake is occurring. Don't panic and wait for help if you are in the affected area.
Alright, so it looks like here's the earthquake going along one of our fault lines, it looks like. Or a... Oh, wow, okay, it's creating a full-out fault line. Or a board, rather. Okay, so luckily that means that this side of the island is relatively not relatively unaffected. Alright, let's just see how this all plays out. Okay, that wasn't actually too bad, I suppose. We've got 2 homes that are demolished here. And we've got one on fire, which, okay, fire department, you're going the wrong way. Alright, you're fine. That's okay. You're good. So, a couple of things then. Our money is going massively downhill now because of our school. So let's actually increase our taxes a bit. It's great how as soon as a natural disaster happens, I can just increase taxes. No problem. Hopefully 12% is enough to get us back to the positives while ensuring our citizens aren't angry at us for taxing them after an earthquake. Oh, I see. It looks like a little bit here is actually impacted. That's why, I guess, some of our buildings were hit. Okay, but you're doing fine there. You helped that building, so we're good there. And let me see if I can actually do this. Nope, okay. So, with these buildings here that are collapsed, with all these disasters and whatnot, collapsed buildings and just demolished buildings can occur. There are services later on in the game we can build that will let us rebuild those buildings or reclaim the land. But unfortunately we don't have access to those quite yet, so we are going bye-bye and rebuilding in there. New homes will come in there over time, so we should be okay. And just to make sure, let's also, well, not make sure, just make sure that our income is a-okay. We are going to also build up here, get some more homes in. I mean, now that the earthquakes happened, we are effectively a tourist destination. Like, everyone wants to come and see our earthquakes. Don't you worry, tourists. There'll be more than enough disasters to go around for everyone. So get you in there. You should be okay. Actually, you know what? How about the power? Power-wise, we can get out to there. Oh, I actually didn't give you power out here, I guess. Doesn't need... oh, it produces its own? Interesting. Well, we're okay for there, I guess. No power needed. You guys are all good there, so let's... Alright, let's do it this way, actually. Let's get rid... Let's build up in here, actually, and get more residential going. Nice, we actually needed that. More money. Perfect. So we've got more services, policies, canals. I don't think we'll worry about that. High schools, libraries, all sorts of nice little things for everyone. Alright, so let's get this filled up here with residential. And that'll hopefully push the electricity far enough to get and convert it into basically a commercial district. Because our commercial is also massively high right now, or the need for commercial is massively high. So let's just fast forward it a little bit, so we can see if people are going to move it in time. Ah, it's not quite close enough. Okay. So let's move you over there. Everyone should be okay. Nice. Alright, well, oh, hang on, we need water. The one thing I'll always forget about is building water whenever I expand land and add new homes. I'm a great mayor. Alright, so people are going to move in, we'll make a little more income off of that, and we should be a-okay. Hey, you know what? That actually has a nice little aesthetic look to it. Multicolored grenades. Fish sticks, goods, ready to wear, box factory, more ready to wear, more fish sticks, more ready to wear, more ready to wear. Okay, I get the point. Yeah, so see here actually how the land has turned to like that, almost a radioactive color, quite honest. That's all pollution, which, as you can kind of see here, the land converts from that nice lush green to the barren, purplishy yellow. Although aesthetic, it definitely has an impact on health, so we'll have to take that into consideration as we're building out. But it looks like generally everyone here is unaffected by that right now, so we should be okay. Alright, on that note, I think this would be a good place to probably stop the episode, since our island is now up and running, and we're getting developed. Let's call it that. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching this episode. Again, hopefully we will have a more regular upload time and more consistency now that the tech issues are solved. And that should hopefully mean that we can get through one of these scenarios finally. So, with that being said, if you did like this video, please leave a like or a comment below. That means a lot to me. And if you want to stay in touch with future episodes, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you are updated for when my updates and new videos come out. And until next time, it's been a pleasure. Bye for now.